Hey, hold on real fast. Quit scrolling. Are you thinking about becoming a lease purchase operator? You've come to the right channel. Give me a little bit of your time to give you the inside information on what goes on inside the lease purchase operating world. Stay tuned. And of course, I'm not being sponsored, not even by the company that I'm contracting for. And this is a non-scripted video. So please, hang on to your pants, buckle that seatbelt, and enjoy the ride. Okay, so on a serious note, this isn't going to be a very quick video. It's probably not going to be a really long video either, because there is so much to cover in the lease purchase industry. And if you were wondering, me myself, I lease purchase through a company located in Chicago, Illinois, Novolines. And any of you that might be naysayers against the lease purchase program, it's probably wise for you to keep on scrolling and not listen to anything that I have to say. And I think before we get started, why don't you follow me? Let's do a walk around on my truck real quick to show you my second life, my professional life, my home, my office, my business. And as you could see, it's a 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. When I entered the 110-week contract on this truck, I had right at 300,000 miles on it. Now I'm almost 600,000 miles at a year and a half. And everybody, next Friday will be the last payment on this truck. Then I go to Bridgeville, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, to meet up with the famous Vice President, Mr. Jim. And we will sit down, sign the paperwork of ownership of this truck, take a couple of pictures, possibly, and get back to work. How did I pick Novolines to be my first contract lease purchase company? Through a process called self-due diligence, vetting, and investigating. Once I was able to narrow down Novolines as a top contender or a personal choice, I reached out and spoke to various employees of the company, to include contractors. The scariest part about jumping ship and starting a new life endeavor is making the wrong choice. So take your time. I was happy with everything that I investigated. I learned that at Novolines, the camaraderie, the integrity, the craftsmanship, the teamwork was bar none. It was very important to me to know the company that I'm going to be partnered up with, that essentially going to be my silent partner on the backside of my business, has my back. They're going to make sure that I'm successful, that I'm making money, I'm staying safe, which in return allows them to be successful, allows them to be safe, and allows them to make money. So, if you're still listening to this, then that means that you're interested in becoming a lease purchase operator. And you're probably a company driver looking to break away from that corporate rigmarole, or getting out from underneath the thumb of corporate politics. Make sure you do your due diligence wisely. Becoming a lease purchase operator can be your absolute freedom in the trucking industry. It could also be your absolute ball and chain prison that you can never break away from. So make sure you fully understand which lease purchase program you're entering with that company and the commodities that you're hauling. Do not enter this industry in debt. You cannot come over here and be successful in debt. You cannot come over here and be successful if you have problems at the house. Maybe you have problems with the girlfriend. Maybe you're having problems with the wife, or the second significant other, or some kids or family or whatever. You have to have a rock solid platform, a support mechanism back home to be able to come out here worry free and to be successful. And the people who have broken out of them shackles became successful coming into this industry broke or problems at the house is really slim. And always remember, in this industry, it's based off of performance. and not all professional drivers were created equal. What I'm trying to say is this is a go-getter industry. You need to learn how to work your ELD and your personal time. I see a lot of people failing in this industry because of that exact comment that I made. They don't know how to work their 10-hour breaks. They don't know how to drive as many miles as they can in a day. They don't know how to run that ELD. Capitalize on the hours that's given to you and extort them hours to benefit you legally. And with that being said, make sure that your 34-hour breaks are not turning into 45-hour breaks. And make sure that your 10-hour breaks are not turning into 14-hour breaks. If you're entering this industry from a company driver's point of view, make sure you take that company driver hat and you hang it up at the door. Because the moment that you cross over into lease purchase, responsibilities increase by 100%. And here's what I mean. As a company driver, there are a few things that you have to adhere to as far as company policy goes. Pre-trips, post-trips, maybe all the corporate mumbo-jumbo in between. And then at the end of the day, after you've driven your miles, you get to hang your hat up and forget all about that truck because it's being covered by somebody else. All you got to do is just go home and enjoy the family time. As a lease purchaser, that's furthest from the truth, because in this industry, you will live it. You will breathe it. You will drink it. You will sweat it. You will do all of that. You just don't get to hang the hat up at the end of the day because your shift came to an end. There is so much responsibility that goes into managing, taking care of these trucks so they take care of you at the end of the day, so your business plan that you have to come up with is successful, fruitful. You're accomplishing those goals that you have set out. If you want to have high gross, well, you need to start acting like a Ferrari, because you're never going to hit high gross being a Ford. As a lease purchase operator, you have all the freedoms in the world to call the shots and say, I'm going home. Maybe that's why you left your last gig. You were having problems getting home. Well, as a lease purchase operator, you can get home exactly when you want to get home, as long as the bills are paid. A lot of people don't understand, if you come from a company driver's mindset or a company driver's past, when you wanted to go home, they eventually got you to go home. And your paychecks may have been the same because you're probably getting paid by the mile. In this industry, depending on your geographical area that you live in the lower 48, you might be in what we call a bad freight area. So if you're expecting to go home every 2 weeks, you might have really bad gross to your truck, because the week before you go home will be a bad gross, and the week that you leave from home will be a bad gross because of the freight lanes that are being offered in your area. You want to be successful, you want to keep that in mind so you can work your schedule around how you make money out in the open road. And I'll give you one example. I live in South Texas. The freight lanes in South Texas do not pay very well. So when I go home once a month. I typically stay out for about 2 months at a time. Because for me to go home for 34 hours to do a reset or an extended weekend just isn't worth it most of the time to have 2 consecutive bad weeks. So before you enter this industry, just be mindful where you live. When you sign that contract to whatever piece of equipment you agreed upon, you're in charge of everything. You're in charge of all the preventive maintenance. You're in charge of all the mechanical maintenance. You're in charge of all the fuel, the truck payments, the trailer payments, the insurance, the IFTA sticker on the side of the truck, the pre-pass hanging up in your windshield, and the HUT sticker on your bumper or the hood of your truck. And of course, with all that being said, tires, brakes, wiring, that all is captured by the maintenance umbrella. I just got 2 repair costs at a TA service plaza, and this is what I had done. Had an oil change and a complete PM on my truck to include all the filters and grease points. And then I had a PM done on my trailer, 2 DOT inspections, 4 tires, 2 sets of brakes, repair to the ABS system on the trailer, and a braking discrepancy to the front left steer tire on my tractor. Those costs come out of my pocket. The tractor was about $600 and the trailer was about $1,500. Even though whatever company you'll be contracting for will have a maintenance program set up for you, sooner or later, those associated costs will directly come out of your pocket. And even though lease purchasing is not a quick get-rich scheme, it will eventually net you really good money in your pocket through investing. That's investing in yourself, that's investing in your business. It will exact the freedom that you're looking for. And to answer some of the most frequent questions on my platform about the lease purchase program, I'm constantly asked, what's your normal pay to the bank? That's almost like asking Wall Street, what is all the investors making on a daily basis? One thing to expect in this industry is you'll have great weeks, you'll have good weeks, and you'll have bad weeks. And if you take all the averages from all those weeks, you'll come up with decent paychecks. So I typically tell people I'm making between $2,000 and $4,000 net to the bank before any of my taxes are taken out. You have to remember, net is different from gross because net derives from gross after all overhead expenses are paid. Next thing I normally get, the next question that I normally get is, you should be making more money than that. And sure, some weeks I feel the exact same way. But since we have associated overhead costs like truck payments, trailer payments, fuel, insurance, incidental, and we operate on a spot market, well, your gross, your net, it is what it is sometimes. Maybe the week before, you'll have a $2,000 net that derives from a $6,800 gross. And who knows, maybe this week you'll have a $4,000 net that derives from an $11,000 gross. Entering this industry, you have to understand that. By gosh, you got to give up the company driver mentality. No private business is certain, and there's always assumed risks. But one thing is always certain. If you don't mind chasing excellence and you have a high agility for a performance pay in a spot market driven economy for open deck freight, and you've always wanted to be the captain of your own helm, the ultimate master and commander of your future, you're watching the right video, my friend. And whatever company you end up contracting for, and all those company attributes are hitting on all 8 cylinders, you will be extremely successful. And to finalize this video with a sum, before you ever think about becoming a lease purchase operator and entering a contract, and fully understanding that contract before you sign it to make sure not only does it benefit the company that you're going to be contracting for, but it benefits yourself and protects yourself. That just about every aspect of your personal home life has been shored up and taken care of. Make sure you got a little bit of money in the bank. I'm not talking about thousands upon thousands, but enough to live off of so you're not getting those cash advances. And your support mechanism back home, whether it's your mama, your baby mama, whatever, is on your side through this process, because this will be one hell of an endeavor. And you fully understand what diversified freight means on an open deck and not biting off more than what you can chew. Fully understanding what load securement is, staying legal with that load securement. I think you're ready. My comments down here are always open for question. Just to let y'all know, it took about 3 times to record this segment. And with that being said, it takes a lot of time compiling these videos. So please give me a like. It really helps out my growing channel. I could not do this without the help of every single one of y'all. Hey, and if you liked my content, please share it. Professional drivers, keep chasing excellence, and y'all be safe out there. Y'all gotta watch out for them four-wheelers. They sure do get crazy at times. Old Rookie, signing out. Hey, professional drivers, welcome back to my channel. It is the end of the week, and I'm here to bring you my growth